everybody. Welcome back. We're at Grow with Miss Nancy, and I'm so glad to see you today. If you remember, last week, the last couple weeks, we've been talking about Jesus died. But some women had seen him. Some disciples had seen him alive. And people were abuzz. People were talking about it. Oh my goodness sakes. And particularly, there was a fella by the name of Cleopas, and he and a friend were walking home to their little town, Emmaus. It was just a few miles from Jerusalem. And they were talking about all this. Oh my gosh, is Jesus really alive? Some people had seen him. Well, what do you think this meant? He was supposed to be the Messiah, and he died. Well, why did he die? And what's all this about? And they were just really talking about all of this. And a man, Jesus, came walking up beside them and said, "Hey, what are y'all talking about?" And they said, "Oh, don't you know what's going on in Jerusalem? Where have you been? Everybody in Jerusalem is talking about this. Oh my goodness, this is so exciting and bewildering, and we don't understand." And they told him that if they just knew better what was going on, they would feel so much better about things. And they didn't know it was Jesus. But Jesus started telling them all that was in the scriptures describing the Messiah, him, Jesus, and all the things that had to happen to him, Jesus. But he didn't say who he was. And so they were just listening, and they were astounded, and they were like so enthralled. And it's just like their eyes were open to what the scriptures really had to say. And they got all the way to Emmaus where they were going. And they said, "Well, fella, you just need to come eat supper with us and talk with us some more. We love hearing what you have to say." And so Jesus had been acting like he was going to keep on walking, but he said, "Okay, I'll come and eat with you all." And so they sat down to eat. And something happened when Jesus was breaking the bread that they suddenly realized, this is Jesus himself. He has appeared to us. Yes, we know he's alive. Oh, we know he's alive. And Jesus disappeared. They were so excited. They ran all the way back to Jerusalem to tell everybody, "Hey, we saw Jesus. This happened with us too. This is so exciting. And let us tell you what he told us to prove through the scriptures that he is the Messiah. He is the anointed one. He's the chosen one. And we're just so excited that he is alive today." You know, these people, these two guys, they didn't recognize Jesus. They didn't know him when they saw him. I have a question for you. Do you recognize Jesus? Do you know him? Do you know who he really is? Do you know that he's real? Do you know that he's alive this very day, today? Do you know that he is God, come to earth in a human body, but still God? Do you know that he loves you with all his heart? He loves you, and he loves me. And the reason he came to earth was to die on the cross. That was his whole purpose. He did all that teaching for 3 years. His whole purpose was to die on the cross, to sacrifice himself as the perfect sacrifice for all of our sins, not just the sins of the people who were living then, but for all of the people in the world's sin. That was a lot of sin to take on himself. But he took it on as the sacrifice, as the punishment that we deserved. But we don't have to have, because Jesus took it for us. And he says all we have to do is believe in him, and we will be saved. Do you know Jesus? Do you know who Jesus really is? I sure do hope so. Well, we'll see you next week. Bye.